So you may want to, oh, I forgot to pin myself. You may want to, playlist is playlist number 10. First song is Turn to Salt. So if you face like the way that I have my mat, that might work very well for you. And Rosemary, there is a bit on your knees today. So you're just gonna do the you know the series, we do it all the time. You'll just do it off of your knees. So let's get started at a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can press start. And we're starting on our backs. I'm gonna start with a little abdominal work. Okay. So find the mat and drop your body. And use each exhale as an opportunity to release a little bit more physically, energetically. Maybe you can feel yourself with your exhale, release your shoulders a little bit more into the earth. Maybe your hips, maybe your legs, arms. You may notice here, because at the beginning of practice, we're just so ready to just jump in. And I want you to settle a little bit first. Feel now that as you're breathing, maybe noticing the pause between the inhale, the pause between the exhale, that we literally drop a little bit of that anxiousness, that frenetic energy into the earth. And that's a good thing. So let's keep that going. We'll do another 5 breaths here. All right. So let's start to feel our pelvis moving up and down. So a little pelvic tilting. You'll press the tailbone down into the floor, the low back will lift up. And then switch it, pressing the low back down, lifting the tailbone up towards the knees. Just rock back and forth a few times. The next time we draw our low back to the floor, let's do that, and then we'll lift our knees up and we'll hug them in. And you're gonna keep hugging onto your right leg, hugging it in and feeling with each inhale, the belly rising up on the leg, and the exhale, maybe drawing the right knee a little closer. And we're gonna stretch the left leg out. So the easiest version would be to drop the foot to the floor. The second one is reaching it out, but since we're doing abdominal work, if you're reaching it out, let's take the heel off the mat altogether. And hug everything back to the midline here. So outer hips hugging in, knees going right to the right breast. Left heel is directly lined up with the left sit bone. Ready? Exhale, draw the leg up. Inhale, bring it down. Exhale, we want to point and draw the foot up, you can. And then press out to the heel and drop it down on the inhale. So just adding a little extra work for the feet, for the ankles. Two more like that. And last one. All right, so we're going to take our hands off of that right leg You can reach them forward, you can place them underneath your butt if you want. And we're going to sweep the left leg forward, right leg straight, and then just keep going back and forth. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to hug that left leg in now. And again, you can, if you need to take a break, your foot is bent. And if it's straight, it's off the mat. Hug the hips into one another. Reach out through that right foot now. Point the toe, inhale, bring the foot up. Exhale, press the heel back down. Point, up, heel, and down. 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Again, we're going to point the toe. Again, we're going to release the left leg. Hands can stay underneath. Reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. We're going to draw that right knee back in. We're going to place the left foot on the floor. All right, we're going to reach our bodies up. So if your neck or shoulders don't like this, then just hug the knee in and reach the hands forward. If it feels okay to lift the head off the floor, you can. And then we're going to take the arms up over the head. Oh, sorry. Let's try that again. Coming up and down. Other side. And arms up over the head. So right leg comes towards you, arms reach forward, unless you have your hands underneath your butt. Left leg, arms lift up over the head. Right. And left. And right. And left. Let's do 3 more sets. Two more sets. And this is our last set. Beautiful. That was not part of my abdominal workout today. I actually did that before on my last class. Drop the knees over to the left. And to the other side. And up again to the first side. And to the second. So if you don't do tabletop position, you can come into child's pose, but upside down like so. Knees to the chest, round in. But for those of you that have no trouble with child's pose, you're going to roll yourself up. And you'll settle yourself into this child. So feel here as you breathe, letting the head go, keeping the arms nice and straight, the belly rising and falling off the thighs. One more breath here, seeing if you can even feel the breath drawing into the back side of the body. And then as you inhale, we're going to come up into tabletop and do a little cat and cow. So here, if you want, you can do cat and cow seated, and lay back and coming forward. Or you can do the version on your hands and knees. If you have your socks off, you can start to take them off now. Longest socks ever. And then come back into your cat and cow. And take a moment in your, like one of the either cat or cow, and just stay there for a minute. Feel it out. Move around here a little bit. And then you're going to pull hands and knees towards each other as the belly drops, reaching the heart through the arms, or in the other version, whatever that may be, sorry. I'm feeling the different effects of the body in this pose than from the first one. Beautiful. And then we're going to come back into neutral. And from here, we're going to just press the heels away from us and the knees are going to lift up. And we can all meet here. Here, feel the heart melt down between the arms as you push the floor away from you. Feel the collarbones wide. Feel the sides of the ribs lift up a little bit. Lift the ears up a little bit. So that makes the pose feel a little less dippy in the low back. All right, if it feels okay, you can take one leg and lift it up. Touch the right, elbow, bring it back. Take the other leg up. Knee towards the elbow and back. Both legs up. Just kidding. We're going to come up into downward dog. Beautiful. And let's just take a moment here as you pedal out the legs. Beautiful. Inhale, come forward into your plank pose. Press up through the heels, lengthen through the crown of the head. Pressing into the floor, draw the hands forward as the hips draw all the way up and back. Back into dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale all the way up and back. Gonna come forward one last time here. We're gonna spin the heels to the right. And if it feels okay to lift the left arm up, you can. Lift the head too. One more breath. The feet are apart, so it's not as challenging. I'm gonna take that hand back down, stretch up, downward facing dog. Just coming forward into plank, drop the heels to the floor, keep the right hand down, or lift that hand up. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hand back down, stretch up, downward facing dog. All right, so we're going to take our right knee forward to the floor. And you can keep it lifted if you want. Just going to roll forward and back so that the knee can be down or not. Rolling that heel back and forth a little bit, the left heel. Do some circles with that ankle. So if you do have that knee off the floor, you'll see it's a lot more abdominal work. It's a lot more arm strength. All right, from here, we're going to press down through the hands, and everyone's going to lift that left knee up. Going to stretch that leg all the way up and back. So that's the right knee up. My mistake. Take that right leg forward towards the right thumb. Here, if you want, you can drop the knee to the floor. You don't have to as you rock back and forth. Keep going here. Let's just take a moment. We're going to sink back here and really press the right heel into the floor and really reach the heart forward. Notice where the heart is. Is it like kind of stuck in the back side of the body? If you feel that way, feel here the collarbones wide and the arms, upper outer arms reaching back. Reach the heart forward. Beautiful. As we inhale, we're going to press down to that front leg and let's sweep ourselves all the way up into a lunge. Excellent. From here, so if your back knee is off the floor, you're going to come into warrior two. The rest of us are just going to come into this half warrior two. Okay, turn the palms up. Reach the palms down. And up. And down. Last time. Beautiful. Let's take our right hand onto the right thigh. Let's take the left arm and sweep it up on an angle from that back knee up to the fingers. Beautiful. Pull the legs towards each other, get a nice little stretch of the inner groin, and then we're going to lift ourselves up, and we'll kick out that right foot. So the right foot is now parallel to the front of the mat. The right hand can rest on the thigh, but don't press into the knee. You find yourself as you come down really working like the hand into the knee. Just release the hand towards the floor, and let's arc up and over. Feel the left shoulder leaning up against that wall behind you a little bit. All right, inhale, let's take that right arm, hug the abdominals in, and start to slowly bring that right arm up. And then once it comes to create like a little ball between your hands, reach that ball up towards the spine. Feel the rib cage lift up and out of the hips. And then we're going to reach the right arm to the right, and the left arm is going to start to reach down towards the floor. From here, if you are standing, you are doing a triangle. You can take that left leg up if that feels okay. Holding for 5, 4, remember that knee can still be down if you need it to be. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to take that right hand back down towards the floor, nose, left knee to nose. And then stretch that leg back. Let's everyone meet in plank pose. And slowly lower down to the mat. Loop the shoulders, peel yourself up. If you want to take the arms a little wide, you can. Exhale, roll yourself back down, let the head touch. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, back down. Last time. Slide the hands back, press hands and knees into the floor. We're back up and into tabletop position. Gonna press into the floor, so if you're in downward facing dog here, you can slowly start to come back down into this place where your knee is just off the mat. Now we're gonna start to stretch our right leg back now. And roll it forward, so you can have that left knee on the floor if you want to roll it back. And forward. And do some circles with the right leg, with the back leg. Switch directions. Beautiful, and then come back, press into the hands, feel the collarbones widen. Feel the belly engage, sides of the waist tug in, take that left leg off the floor. Here we are. Breathe. We're going to stretch that leg all the way up and back behind us for a 3-legged dog. Take that leg forward towards your left thumb, sorry. And here again, can come onto blocks. We're going to rock back and forth here. And then let's find ourselves getting into that hamstring a little bit by pressing the left heel into the floor, feeling the outer hip draw back, reaching the heart forward, trying to soften here, ease the heart towards that front foot. And then as we come forward, we're going to plant that foot and we'll sweep up into a lunge. And then we're going to spin ourselves into this warrior two position. Take the arms out. Let's do some circles with the arms now. 1, 2, 3. Try to imagine that your fingers are really making a circle and try to make the circle a little bit bigger each time. And then we're going to switch directions. And we're going to go smaller each time. Beautiful. And then reach. We're going to take our left hand onto the left thigh. We're going to take our right arm and reach it up over our head. Finding the relationship between that back knee or foot pressing into the floor and the fingers reaching up and away from it. Again, you're leaning up against that imaginary wall behind you, and that right shoulder is also on it, not just your head. As we inhale, we're going to stretch that left leg straight. We'll spin the heel out. And here we are in this 5-pointed star. Oh, not yet, sorry. Right arm up, we're coming into gate pose here. So left hand can rest on the left calf, but if it's at the knee, reach it down towards the floor. Feel the stretch coming through the whole side of the body, not in the shoulder. Beautiful. And then we're going to come up. Here we go. Reaching out through that left arm. Bring the right arm down towards the floor. Pressing down through that left leg, shoulder blades coming together, heart reaching up towards the chin. Again, if it feels easy, you can take that right knee off the mat, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll take that left hand back down, stretch the right leg all the way up and back. And then bring it down towards the floor. We're going to lower, coming through a vinyasa, all the way to the mat though. Take the arms wider forward, loop the shoulders, peel up. Pull the hands back as you roll yourself down, let the head touch the floor. Come up again. And down. See if you can do this a few more times, really feeling the spine loop. So take as long as you need, so that you feel more of an articulation in the spine and how high you get. Last one. Slide the hands back, press hands and knees into the floor. We're going to lift up, downward facing dog. All right. Look forward, we're going to take our right leg forward. Inhale, we're going to come up into a high lunge this time. So bend that back knee, try to level off the hips, try to soften through the shoulders. Take a few more breaths here. If it feels okay to start to straighten that back leg, do that as you bend the front knee a little bit more. Beautiful. We're going to press into our right leg. We're going to lift that left leg up. So press down to the left leg. Draw that left knee into the chest. Give it a hug. So wobble here is fine. Just try to imagine the inseam of both legs rooting down towards the mat. And sink your butt back a little bit. We're going to slide our hands underneath our thigh. Pull the left leg back a little bit, and you can start with a little bit of heel ankle stuff again. You can also do this with your legs straight. You can also do it with your hands at your hip, or your heart. Let's do 3 more, point and flex. And then we're going to sweep that leg back, reach the head forward. We're going to place our hands on our right thigh. Feel the inner left thigh lift up and reach the heel and the head away from one another. Hold. You can stay just like this, kind of wobbling around. You can take your hands to the floor if it becomes too much. You can also make this a little bit more like muscle work by bending and straightening that standing leg. So many places to be in this pose, and all of them are great. So, but we're all going to bend that front knee and tap that that back leg back down as we come back up through a lunge. Exhale, let's open up into warrior two again. So this time we're going to bend our elbows. We're going to draw the forearms towards each other, press, inhale, open up. Exhale, squeeze, and open up. Now, as we're doing this arm work, just make sure your legs are in alignment that they should be in. That front knee is over the center of the foot, the back leg, both legs are pointing towards each other. Let's do two more with the arms. Beautiful. Let's take our right hand onto that right thigh again. And we'll start with that left arm up in the air. I'm going to spin the pinky finger to face forward, and then as you root down through that back leg, reach the left arm up and away from that back leg. Did you lose the left shoulder? Is it off that magic wall behind you? And if it has, now we're just starting to lean back as you tuck the right buttock under a little bit more. We'll keep the alignment through the legs and the back. Beautiful. And inhale, come back up. Gonna unplug that back leg as we come back into a lunge. That's kind of scary work. And we're going to take our left hand to the floor. And we're going to take our right arm to our right shoulder. Try not to let the left hip follow you around. Let's do some shoulder circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we'll lift that elbow up towards the sky, trying to create a straight line from left wrist to right elbow, without the left hip following around. You can lift that arm up towards the sky as well, if that feels okay. We'll reach the right arm over the head, and then onto the inside of that right leg. Let's do a little bit of straight leg runner stretch here. So again, you can use blocks if the floor seems too far away to straighten that right leg. Beautiful. All right. I'm gonna crawl around. So if you are facing, like if you've got the same setup with your mat as I do, you can just roll yourself all the way around. If not, just do the vinyasa facing the other way. Plant the leg, plant the hands, take the leg back, and moving through a vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settle in, take a couple of breaths. Feel the floor kind of press down to the hands, lifting the hips up, let the back of the neck be long, upper arms draw back. Breathe. And to take that left leg, lift the other back. So you can all the way forward towards that left thumb. We're going to make our way up into a lunge. You can hold your lunge for a second. You can bend that back knee, try to level off the hips. Heart's lifted. There's a bit of a hollowness to the underarms, and once you feel stable and it feels okay, you can bend that front knee more and try to straighten that back leg. That's going to pull you into that hip flexor just a little bit more. Keep that heart lifted. All right, so let's do that little balance where we're going to press into that left leg. We'll take that right leg up and we'll give it a hug first. And feel both inner thighs spin back. Slide the hand underneath the thigh and pull that thigh back even more. You should feel a little bit more relief. And you can do some work with the angle here. You can straighten the leg, or you can do it without the hands all together. Keep lifting up through the inner thigh of that leg. And then let's take that head forward as we sweep the leg back. And again, you can hold on to blocks here. You can just Rest your hands on that standing leg, or if you're really feeling super strong, hands can stay at the heart. Lengthen the heel and the head away from one another. Have that right hip looking down on the floor, and then you can start to, if you want, only if it feels like it's benefiting you to add a little bit more strength training here, bend and straighten that standing leg. And then everyone's gonna bend that leg, and we're gonna tap that right leg down as we sweep up. We'll open up warrior two. Okay, so let's do one more with our arms. We're gonna take our arms, we're gonna give ourselves a hug. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, bring them down towards the belly. Keep the bottom half of the body in alignment. Beautiful. Come back through center. We'll release the arms. We'll switch the opposite arm on top. Let's just circle. No, we'll stay up and down. Sometimes it's good to have a wall behind you that's real, not just imaginary. So if you do feel like you're going to fall over, you can grab it. And let's take the arms out. Take that left arm onto the left thigh, and right arm is either going to stay up towards the sky, nice space between the shoulders, or reach it up and away from that back foot. Again, head, shoulder up against that wall behind you. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to come back up. Unplug that back heel as we come through a lunge. And then the right hand is going to find the floor. Let's take the left arm to the shoulder. Try not to let that right hip follow you around. Circles, 5 of them with the elbow in one direction. Switch directions. And lift that elbow up, and it feels okay to lift up towards the sky. Do it. If it doesn't, keep your head here and keep working on the chest opening and the shoulder work. If it feels okay, you can take the arm over the head. And then back down onto the inside of the leg. We're going to all curl ourselves into a wide angle forward fold. And just let the head go. Inhale, come up flat back. Start to come off your heels and come forward into this wide angled plank pose where you can stay in the plank or you can lower to chaturanga and up. Walk your hands back towards the legs and maybe go a little farther, go behind you. Try to get the head towards the floor. Keep pulling the legs towards each other. Hang. Walk yourself back. Walk yourself forward back into this plank pose. Hold your plank here, or again, you can lower and lift. And all the way back one more time, right through the legs. Okay. Lengthen up flat back here. Bend your back leg. Inhale, come up, bend your front leg. Back through center, back leg again. Pull the front leg towards that back leg. Big engagement in the inner thigh. And second side. Crawl yourself back to the front of the mat. Step the back leg forward and fold. Bend our knees here as we come into Uttanasana. So sit back, pull the shins back, start to lift the hips off of the thighs with the arms forward first, shoulders in the back, and then up and away from the tailbone. Beautiful. One more breath here. And as we exhale, we'll fold over the legs. Hands to shins lengthen. Hands to the floor. Make your way through a vinyasa. If you want to do chaturanga, you can. Downward facing dog. Right leg's going to come forward. Inhale up through a lunge first. Exhale, fold forward. Oh, I forgot something on the other side. I hate when I do that. Let's spin that left heel to the midline. Inhale, come up into warrior one, classical stance. Beautiful. Maybe bend that front knee a little bit more. Feel the legs pulling towards each other. Beautiful. Exhale, both hands back down towards the floor. Moving through a vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to come into a lunge first. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the floor. We're just going to add that little parsa movement. So straighten that front leg. Lengthen the heart forward. Hug the hips towards each other. Reach out to the crown of the head, away from the tailbone. And then if you want to bend, you can come back one more time. And then release it. We're going to spin that back heel to the midline. Make your way up into warrior one. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to the mat. And move through a vinyasa. Exhale all the way back down to the floor. Slide your hands forward. Let your head rest on the floor, either your forehead or your chin, whatever you feel more comfortable. And we're going to just add a little arm and a little back work. So press down to the left arm, reach the right arm and the left leg up, and reach them away from one another. Let the back of the ears reach towards the fingers. Exhale, back down. Inhale up, we'll come up the other side. Press down to the pelvis. Reach, and then down. Let's do 5 more sets. Inhale up, exhale down. Set 1. Two. 3. 4. Beautiful. And 5. We're going to slide our hands back behind us. We're going to feel our shoulders loop into the shoulder girdle. We're going to really press down through our pelvis. We're going to lift our head and our shoulders up. And then slowly we're going to start to lift the feet up off the mat too, as long as that doesn't pull on your low back. So really reach the tailbone down, hug the sides of the waist in, lift up a little higher if you can to the upper back. And then we're going to take our hands back underneath our breasts, loop the shoulders into place, and peel yourself up into a little mini cobra with your elbows bent. And then make sure that you feel your wrists and shoulders are on top of one another. Start to straighten the arms, press into the feet, and you're an upward facing dog. Curl over the toes, roll back, downward facing dog. Stretch the belly, or draw the belly in towards the spine. Take a nice big inhale here, and a big exhale through the nose. And lean to the mouth. One more time, inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. We'll lift the heels up nice and high. Exhale, bend the knees, make your way back to the front. Fold forward. Come up into flat back. And then release a little lower. We'll bend our knees. We'll come back to Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Tadasana. Just take a moment. Notice that you probably should warm. I'm hoping that you're warm now. Get the heart lifted a little bit more. We're gonna come back to Uttanasana, so we can release the hands and just take a moment in a full mountain pose. Take a nice big inhale, exhale through the mouth. One more like that. And then as you bend your knees, we'll inhale, come up into Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to shins, lengthen into a flat back. Keep that length if you plant your hands and walk or hop yourself back into Chaturanga and through your Vinyasa. We'll start off with classical warrior one stance, so make your way up. And then let's make our way into warrior two stance. So just kind of moving out your arms and your legs to where they should be. Let's drop our back hand. We're going to come through reverse triangle pose. So the front leg straightens, the arm reaches up and back. The heart reaches up towards that hand in the air. The ears are back. Can you feel yourself literally leaning up against that magic wall of yours? And keep the head on that wall. Keep the shoulders on the wall as you start to press more deeply into that back foot. From that back heel, keep reaching that right arm forward. So all the way trying to stay in the back leg. And then take the left arm up and take the right arm down. And lengthen here. Left shoulder on the wall, head on the wall, back heel still. We're going to press your right foot into your right hand so that that leg doesn't feel as if you're just dumping weight into it. Add a little shoulder stretch. So take the top arm and just reach it back behind you. You can look down if you want. It should feel okay. If you want, you can spin the left thumb to the back wall, bend the elbow, and bring that whole hand behind you as you look down for a deeper stretch through that neck and shoulder area. Beautiful. We're going to bend that front knee again as we make our way back up. Release the arms. Excellent. Unplug that back heel. This time, if you want to come into a lunge twist, you can take that left elbow over to the outside of that right knee, or of course you can just do the lunge we've already done. Look up at that right elbow. Notice that you're wobbling probably. That's okay. Beautiful. We're going to look down towards the floor. Take both hands to the mat on the inside of that right leg. Back knee can drop down if you want. We'll reach the heart forward. And here, just bend the elbows, dropping down into a lizard pose. So the back knee doesn't have to be on the floor. I just find it's a little bit easier. But your heart, notice that the heart is hiding in the back between the shoulder blades. See if you can draw it forward. If you want here, because this is a big hip stretch, and that right knee just wants to splay out. So you can take that right arm and kind of just hug it in. Beautiful. A couple more breaths like this. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to reach the arms forward. We'll lift that back leg off the floor. Then we're going to crawl ourselves all the way back into a wide angle forward fold. Lengthen, bend the back knee. Inhale, come back up, bend the front knee. Bend your leg back and forth a few times. All right. So we're going to crawl ourselves back to the front of the mat, or if you're facing me, then you're at the back of the mat now. Because if you've got that one, then we're always going to end up looking at each other. Moving through a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look forward, make your way back to the front, and fold. Bend your knees, sweep up Uttanasana. Exhale, fold again. Moving through our last set of vinyasas, I think, so enjoy them. We'll take our left leg forward, this time moving right into classical warrior one stance, so back foot is angled out as we make our way up. Exhale, we'll come into warrior two. Gonna drop the back hand coming through your exalted warrior, but we're stretching that front leg straight. Reach the heart all the way up towards that hand of the air. Back hand is not leaning into the body, and then start to really anchor that back heel from the hip almost, and reach the bottom ribs towards that left hand. And when you can no longer go, take the other arm up, right arm up, and take the left arm down. Press the left shin into the hand, and try to draw that bottom rib a little bit more forward. Make sure you still have your upper body leaning up against that wall. Breathe. If you want, you can take that top arm and reach it back. Nice little stretch for the shoulder. Bring it back up through neutral. Bend that front knee as we make our way back up through warrior two. And then we'll unplug that back leg as we make our way through either the same lunge we did before, twist, or the more challenging version with your hands at the elbow to the knee. Beautiful. And then look down towards the floor. Both hands come to the floor, back knee can drop to the floor if it feels okay. Start to lower yourself down into this lizard pose. You can wrap your left arm around the leg to keep it hugging in. Try to feel what's going on in the body, where the escape route is, and is that the route that you want the body to take? All right, we're gonna release that, let that hand coming back up, lift up. Roll yourself back into this wide angle fold. And just let the head go. You can hold on to the outer edges of the feet, the big toes, then the elbows out. Pull the legs towards each other, feel the sits bones lift up as the front of the body hinges forward. So if your hamstrings are just screaming right now, try to roll yourself a little bit more forward towards the big toes, out of the heels, and see if that takes any of the pressure out of the hamstrings. All right, we're gonna release our hands to the center, come back up again, flat back. You're gonna turn the right toes a little out to the right, and we're gonna pull the left leg towards us as we come into Skandasana. So version number one, the foot stays on the floor. Version number two, that back foot, the left foot lifts up towards the sky. The right knee and shoulder, right knee and foot are lined up in the same diagonal. Right shoulder is keeping that knee or helping it, and you can take that left arm and lift it up. So if you don't need your hands here, you can take your right hand, I'll flip myself around. And you can wrap the arm around so you're making this into a twisted bind. Beautiful. To come out, we're just going to stay low as we slink to the other side. Come into any version you did on the first side. So either foot down, foot up, knee, hands on the floor, hands not on the floor. We're in this bound position. Breathing wherever you are. All right, release wherever you are, come back up. Gonna walk our feet wide. Just stay here for a second. Feel the legs, instead of that feeling of the pelvis spilling out towards the heels, feel the heels pulling the pelvis back up into the body and see if that allows you to sink any lower. Eventually, we're going to come to a wide angle seated position. So if you can do it from this position, it's kind of fun. But, you know, feel free to do it however you want. It's kind of a crazy move, but, and here we are sitting up nice and tall. Just take a moment here. So if you feel this, so let's take our hands behind us first, and so we can feel that lift up through the side of the body. Sideways lifted, engaged through the obliques. What we want to make sure that we can do here is take the hands off without the body feeling as if it's just on that move that's sinking. So if you've got that, then great. That's great, strong core work. Place your hands down, hold. If you're still working on it, just play with it a few times. And then we're all going to meet by taking our right leg, so you can take your hands if you need them on the floor, go for it. We're going to take our right leg, draw it up and in, and just hug that leg in towards that pelvis of yours. Now we're going to take our left hand to the outside of the left leg. The right hand is just going to kind of slide out to the right. So we're keeping that right knee down comfortable. If the right knee is up high, place something under it so it can relax. And we're just going to start to reach our way over towards the left. But again, keeping that right shoulder and the head up against that wall. You can take your left arm up if that feels okay, big stretch. And you can start to reach the arm up and over to the left. Don't try to grab the toes, it'll take you out of that nice long stretch and it'll crumple again. Keep feeling the right sit bone reach down and reach the heart towards that right hand, breathe. Inhale, we're going to come up. Lengthen. We're going to spin from the belly, taking the left hand to the right knee. The right hand's coming behind to prop you up taller. Make sure you're still seated on both sit bones. And then let's look over our back shoulder. If you close your eyes and you feel your spine doesn't feel straight, let's look over our front shoulder. Beautiful. We're going to lift our arms back up again. And we're going to hinge from the hips, low back drawing in and up. So in towards the spine and up towards the heart, bringing the hands towards the floor. Again, that left hip bone tries to lift off the floor. Try to reach it back down to the mat as you hold here. Inhale, we're going to come back up. We're going to try, without our hands, to slide that leg all the way back out into that position. It's not so easy. Press down through the right leg, take the left leg, draw it in, and you can help to heel because it's not so easy. Right hand is going to come onto the inside of the right leg. Left hand is just going to slide that left leg down and away. So don't push down. Think of moving it out to the left. Head up against that wall, shoulder against that wall. Stay here for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to start to take that left arm up. And then over. Again, not thinking about any goal in particular here, except maybe the heart reaching up towards that hand in the air. Inhale, we'll come back up. Take the right hand to the left knee, left hand's gonna prop you up. Spin yourself around to the left. Over your back shoulder. Keep breathing. Over your front shoulder. Beautiful. Coming back through center, we're going to fold forward. Keep that left sit bone, right sit bone down. Left one has no trouble staying down. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to come back up. We're going to take that left leg, so plant down through your right foot. Take that left leg all the way back out if you can. And then we're going to fold forward again. Press the heels into the floor, draw them back to the hips and reach the heart a little bit more forward. How does that feel? Back of the neck long. Breathe. Excellent. We're going to come back up. We're going to slide both knees in. So again, we've done this one before. We know we're going to lift our legs up. So make sure there's nothing behind you that you can hurt yourself on. Keep the heart lifted, so low back drawing in and up. Try to stay to the front of the sits bones. Lift both feet. Actually, we'll start with heel on the floor. So press the left heel into the floor. Take the right leg up. Beautiful. Bring that heel back down. Press the right heel into the floor. Take the left leg up. Beautiful. Down. We'll do one more set like that. Really pay attention to what's going on in the core. So you're rooting down to the sits bones and that tailbone. And from that, you're lengthening upwards. The leg lift is not affecting the back at all. Bring that leg down. Take the second leg. Now, reaching the left big toe away, take the right heel off the floor and see if you can lift both. Keep that heart lifted. Sides of the body long, shoulders in the back, lifting that heart. Beautiful. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and then draw the knees out as we hinge from the hips again. Fold forward with a flat back. Inhale, come back up, slide the feet a little farther away. Open up the feet, Charlie Chaplin feet. And here we are going to roll ourselves so we can round down here. You can even slide your feet, your hands through your feet and come into a little tortoise shell pose. Beautiful. You can roll yourself back up. Just give yourself a little shake. Okay. So just enjoy it for a little bit from side to side. Okay, so let's take our right leg and we'll bring it on top of the left. So again, if this doesn't work for you, you can take your right hand through the space between. Wrap your left arm around the foot so that the big toe presses into the bicep and hands are together. But if you can rest it, you can do that too. So lengthen through the low back. Feel the sides of the body getting long, and notice as you lengthen through the side body and kind of feel your self rolling to the front of the sits bones, you're getting a little bit more intimate with that outer right hip. Stay with it for a couple of breaths. Okay, so you can walk your left foot out to the left and drop both legs over towards the right, looking over your left shoulder. Again, if this doesn't feel good in the left knee at all, just take that right foot underneath it. Okay. Press down to the right arm, just take that left arm, reach it up and over. Place that hand back down, and we'll switch, taking the right arm up. Beautiful. And then we'll release that. Actually, should we take it up? Yeah, why not? Let's take it up for one more moment, see how we did. See if it feels any different. And then we can take it down. Shake up the legs a little bit. We'll take the left leg into position. Whatever you did on the first time will work well on the second. Low back draws in and up in either of the positions. I also like to keep the foot that is bent in a active position. So press out to that heel, reach the heart up. Beautiful. We're going to drop both legs over towards the left now. And again, you can always drop that left heel if it doesn't feel right. You can inch that right foot back. So always take the precautions with your body. If it doesn't feel right, take care of it. We'll press down to the right, left hand, take the right arm, reach it up. Take that hand back down, and take the left one. Beautiful. Coming back, we'll release that foot and do a little bit more with shoulder. Okay, planting your feet, we're going to start to make our way down to the floor. So reach your arms forward, and again, just notice as you roll yourself down, can you stay pretty true to that roll, or is there a spot where you feel like you're going to have to release and try to get down in one fluid motion? It's a challenge. Take the arms up over the head, reach them away, stretch the legs straight. Stretch the right side super long. And then the left side super long. Stretch both sides really long. We're going to bend our knees, press our low back into the floor, lift the legs up. Cross the right leg on top, bend that knee, and then bend the left knee, drawing the knees in towards the chest for a little upside down cow head. If you can hold on to your feet, grab onto the outsides and press the heels away. And if that doesn't work for you, you can hold on to the shins, you can hold on to the knees. Feel the outer hips hugging towards midline as you draw those knees maybe a little closer towards you. And if you have your feet are moving away at the same time. Beautiful. We're going to lift those legs back up, give them a shake. Cross over to the second side. Keep those hips hugging towards each other. Keep pressing the heels away. Knees into the chest. Beautiful. We'll release the legs. Give your legs a shake. Plant them back down to the floor. Take your hands beside your hips. We'll come up into just a little fish pose. So again, if you don't like fish, you can do any little upper back bend. You can even just place a block underneath your chest. But if it feels okay, plant the hands beside you. Have the elbows down and just lift the chest up. You can stay off of the head altogether. Or if it feels okay, you can roll and look behind you. If you're in the full version, Feel the shoulders cascade down towards the floor as the heart lifts up a little bit more. And breathe. Slowly start to lower yourself down. Move your chin a little bit from side to side. And then start to make your way into Shavasana. So if you've got extra layers to put on, I would certainly do it. Get yourself cozy. Today's daily Om is called detoxifying your body or detoxing your body. When you want to start with a clean slate in life, one way is to cleanse your body. Detoxifying can be done in many ways and for many reasons, depending on your specific goals. You may feel a physical need for cleansing or a spiritual one, where you would cleanse the areas of your bodies that correspond to your current life's challenges. If you feel, for example, that your inner self is not shining through as you would like, you may want to do a bathing detox to clean the skin of impurities so that you can radiate your inner health like a newly washed stained glass window that lets the light shine through more brilliantly. No matter how healthy and conscious our habits are, our bodies move with the cycles of life, which means that our cells sometimes need to fall like leaves from a tree before they can regenerate and be renewed. Just as we need to wash our bodies to remove the buildup of natural processes in contact with the world around us, we need to clean our bodies from the insides as well. So you may want to detoxify your blood or your digestive system or target a specific buildup such as plaque or metals. Our bodies are the vessels that allow us to move through life, but we can treat them like wild gardens that need our attention to reach their full potential of beauty and balance in their ecosystem. The first days of a detoxification process may bring to mind an image of dust that gets stirred up during spring cleaning. You may feel a little worse before you feel better, but that may be indeed the universe's way of showing us the benefits by contrast. We live in a world of dualities, so we may need to experience both sides of the situation in order to find our perfect balance. Once the impurities have been cleansed, you could experience a sense of lightness or clarity of vision and purpose. You will know it worked when you feel enhanced ease as you move through the world towards your goals. So you can begin to deepen your breath. As the energy starts to move through you and down through your arms and your legs, you can encourage it by wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching, yawning. Take a little time on your side. And then when you're ready to make your way up, you can join me, don't rush. We'll meet it with our hands at our heart and our heart back up into our hands. Just take notice of how you're feeling, how the practice kind of settled with you tonight. And thank yourself for all the work that you put into the practice. Strength is coming, so be aware of that. It's amazing how much stronger we are now, a year into this. We'll thank ourselves for our practice. We'll thank each other for joining us in our practice tonight. Thank you for your encouragement. And let's end the practice with the sound of one Om. So taking a nice big inhale. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhaling to Om. As we settle in, feeling that reverberation root us down a little bit more into the earth, we can lengthen up a little higher towards the sky, to the crown of the head. As a reminder that our thoughts should always be filtered through our hearts, we bring our hands to our head to be representative of our thoughts, and we bring them right back to where they belong. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.